Hello, good afternoon. My name is Arturo. I'm Joel.
I'm Alair.
I'm Ricardo,
I'm Oliver.
and we are going to talk about
Pollution!
We will explain its contents, details, and consequences in order to give you a better view of the topic.
Okay, so pollution is a real issue for the planet, for the animals, and for mankind itself. We tend to hear a lot about pollution in the different media due to the fact that this problem and its consequences have been increasing over the years.
Alright, to make it clear, pollution is the process by which the environment ends up getting all dirty, unsafe, and not suitable to use. Pollution happens when a contaminant is introduced into a natural environment. This contaminant can come in different forms and to different environments, and this leads to different types of pollution.
So, there are various classifications of pollution that directly affect us, and also affect our planet. But there are three main classifications: the air pollution, water pollution, and the land pollution. And air pollution occurs when things that don't belong to the air are added to it. So, a common example of air pollution is when people release particles into the air from burning fuel. And this type of pollution is one of the most dangerous.
Water pollution occurs when chemicals or dangerous foreign substances are put into the water. All of this leads to marine pollution, which affects the ocean in a very harmful way.
Then we have land pollution. Land pollution generally occurs when waste is not properly disposed of. Some examples are when humans throw trash or chemicals onto the soil, or another one can be exploitation of minerals.
Okay, so pollution happens due to the fact that us, humans, are not conscious enough about our actions and all the consequences that this problem leads to. Okay, when did it all start?
Well, there is not exact date to determine the outbreak of pollution, but some states that it started in the beginning of agriculture, 11,000 years ago. Some other people consider that it started close to the advent of the nuclear era in 1945. But most scientists recognize the Anthropocene as the beginning of the first industrial revolution. That is to say, since 1760.
So people start to gradually recognize the pollution as a problem after the Industrial Revolution and until now. And nowadays people have been fighting against this problem that compromise our planet, our health, and our survival as a species.
Okay, so pollution has a very big impact on the environment. Each type of pollution affects the environment differently depending on the causes of the problem. Now we're going to mention the consequences of the three main types of pollution in a more detailed way.
Land pollution can impact the entire world's population health. Examples of these are skin diseases and cancer. Land pollution has also been linked to development deficient in children. Chemicals found in contaminated soil and water, such as lead, can have negative impacts for children's cognitive development.
Now, land pollution can also increase the risk of wildfires. The dry conditions created by pollution in the soil help to create the perfect environment for wildfires. The fires can go quickly because of the dry conditions, and this means that many species lose their natural habitats.
We also have the air pollution, and there are many ways it can affect us. First, in health, it can affect us by causing us headaches, anxiety, and the difficulty in breathing. And those are the most common effects. Also, another problem can be irritation in eyes, ears, noses, and in the throat. Inflammation, asthma, infections all over the respiratory system. The lung function is reduced and the probability...
Air pollution can lead to global warming, which is increasing rapidly due to the amount of sprite products that we use. All these products release greenhouse gases which obstruct the way of the sunlight, the way out of the sunlight, and keep it in the atmosphere. This increases the temperature and leads to climate change, obviously. And because of this, the polar regions of Earth start melting. This will increase the water sea levels And the consequences continue and continue and continue until there is nothing left in the planet.
Okay, finally, water pollution. This type of pollution can cause many illnesses, for example, diarrhea, malaria, cholera, lead poisoning, arsenic poisoning, and trachoma. Water pollution disrupts the natural food chain as well. Pollutants such as lead and cadmium are eaten by tiny animals. Later, these animals are consumed by bigger fish and the food chain continues to be disrupted at all higher levels. Humans are eventually affected when eating contaminated seafood.
Now that we know more about this topic, it is time to see the opinion of an expert.
Well, hello, good morning, thank you for your time. We're going to ask you some questions about the topic of pollution. Okay, so to begin with, the first question. What do you consider pollution to be?
Well, there are many ways we can classify pollution. Pollution can be described as contaminant that is released in the air. For example, there are three types of pollutions that I consider, which is air, water, and land. And all of them are really devastating to the earth. In the water, well, oceans are being contaminated by sewages, and in the air, a lot of machines like factories, cars are releasing chemicals into the air, and in land, well, many humans don't are contaminating like by throwing trash in the soil.
Excellent. Next question. What is the main cause of pollution?
Well, one of the main causes of pollution is the ignorance of people. People don't take or be conscious of their actions, such as throwing trash in rivers, in the land, and they are making vehicles that release a lot of chemicals into the atmosphere.
Perfect. Next. What is your opinion about pollution?
My opinion on pollution is that it's really bad for the world and people have to be more conscious in their actions so the earth can be more healthy and it can last longer.
Okay, now finally, the last question. What can we do in order to counteract pollution as citizens?
The way we can counteract pollution as citizens is to invent new machineries that don't pollute that much. For example, electric cars over cars that use petroleum because they release a lot of chemicals into the air. And we gotta take more conscious, like I said, because this is our only earth that we have.
And well, this was Scientific Oliver, such a nice guy, and thank you for your time and thank you for the questions.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this has been all from us. We hope you enjoyed and you learned about the background of all this pollution and how it can affect us. So please take action of what are you doing, and well, thank you.